Hi there, welcome to Cal's BigCommerce Guide. This is the first of many tutorial videos on how to use BigCommerce and get the most out of the BigCommerce system. Now, when you first sign up for BigCommerce, you will be presented with this, which is the home screen. Now, the home screen is made up from various different sections. You've got firstly this section up here, which when you first register will bring up a list of things that you need to do in order to get your store online and ready to go and selling products. Once you've done them all of these specific things, it will change, or you can click to change it just here to your common tasks, which is your store at a glance, basically how many products, categories, customers, orders, etc, etc. But we'll switch back to this one for now. So you've got your list of to-do things. Again, you've got the getting started video over here. I would recommend watching this first. It just gives you a basic rundown of how BigCommerce works and how it can help your business and what kind of features it has. And then hopefully I will go into them in a lot more detail to help you get the most out of them. Then down here, useful links to help you sell more. Now, once you've built your store, which I recommend getting your store built, ready to go, and do it all in the 15 days of your free trial. But when you have built it and you're all ready to go, I do recommend looking at these links. One thing BigCommerce are fantastic at is helping you get the most and sell the most possible products from your store. They're very good at it, and these links they put down the bottom here make very good and useful reading. So I would definitely recommend having a look at these links. Again, down here, the top help articles, basically a list of all of the help things from the forum that people have found the most useful. So anyway, let's get started. So you've registered your BigCommerce store. You've got your store there. It's ready to go. And first thing you do is watch the BigCommerce Get Started video. I'm not going to watch that with you now. I'll leave you to do that in your own time. Secondly, configure your store settings. Now, you can either click this link here, or you go up to the settings and click store. Now, the store settings page has got different tabs for the various different parts and functionality in the store of the basic sort of framework, if you like, of the store. So we're on the first tab, and when it opens, and then you got website. So your store name is what BigCommerce will automatically put in things such as emails. In the bottom of the website will say copyright blah, your store name. In the emails it will say thank you for your purchase from your store name. So nothing fancy, nothing too long, not like this is, for example, Minicat UK, so you wouldn't put Minicat UK catamaran boat that fits in your car. You would just put Minicat UK. Okay, store address. Now that's quite plain and simple, your address. Now you've got administrator's email and the from email address. Now the administrator's email is where emails from the website that relate to its function, what's going on, etc, etc, that the customer doesn't need to see, they will go to that email address. So if you want to get an email every time you get an order, for example, it will go to that address. Or if there's a problem with the site, you'll get an email to that address. So that's what that email address is for. Obviously you can register a new one, which we'll get into another time. The from email address, which is this one here, the from email address is the email that every email from the store to a customer will say that it's from. So I buy a catamaran from Minicat UK. I then get an email saying thank you very much for your order. It will say that if I click reply, it will say that it is from this email address here. Okay, so that's basically your customer service email address. That's the one you put there. Now, your weight measurement, it's basically when you enter the product's details and when you enter it into the postage service, what measurement do you use? You can use kilograms, pounds, grams. However, it's just basically the measurement of weight that you wish to use on your site. Length measurement, again, inches or centimeters. Most places now work in centimeters, but I don't know. You might need to work in inches for some reason. Decimal token, again, normally a point, but for something such as the euro, I know it's a comma. So that is what determines the pounds from the pence, so to speak, or the dollars from the cents. That's the one that goes in there. A thousands token again. Obviously only for aesthetic reasons, but that's a comma. And how many decimal places you wish to use on your store, which is almost always 2. So that's that. Factoring dimension. Now this is basically if you're going to sort by product size, which dimension do you want to sort by? So that's as simple as that. I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but in some I suppose you would if you were selling pictures or cards or paintings or something, I suppose. Oh, almost missed it out. The down for maintenance. Now I would recommend pretty much never clicking on this box, just because if your store is active and someone hits it and they see a down for maintenance sign, chances are they're not going to come back. It's almost better to have a banner on your front page or something saying this might not work, or something along those lines, rather than have the whole store down. Otherwise you could risk losing potential customers. But it is useful if you're doing a whole complete site redesign. That's when you would use something along those lines. Then down the bottom you've got your search engine optimization. Now you've got this for every page that you build on your site and every product, but it all runs with the basics that you type in. The title. Now the title is what will appear at the top of the page in your browser. It's also the first thing that Google sees when it's looking at your site and other search engines. So you want a small, very concise description or title of what's on that page. Now it needs to relate to it. So if you're selling catamaran boats, don't have your title banging on about prices or something along those lines. You want to tell Google or search engines exactly what is on that page in a short, concise title, which, as you can see here, we've got Minicat because that is the home page of that brand. The ultralight catamaran that fits in your car, because that is all that they sell. Apologies, I got a cold. Your meta keywords. Now, again, they need to be relative. Don't just start filling in words that have nothing to do with your website because you think that will get more people hit you. It won't. It will rank you down. Google I keep using Google, but search engines want to see everything relative. They want to know that this page is all about this, and then they want to know that the Minicat page is all about minicats, small boats. They want to know that. They don't want to see in there anything to do with weather or anything else that might possibly be related to boats but isn't related to your product. So I'm babbling now anyway. So we've got Minicat UK, the name of the brand, Minicat UK, without a space, just in case, and then just the basics of what's there. Minicat 310 is the smaller model, 420 the larger model, sailing boat in a bag. Then, sorry. Then the meta description. Now this, again, it needs to be concise and it needs to be relative, but it can be slightly longer, so you can fit in a bit more about your business. So whereas we've just got in the title, the ultralight catamaran that fits in your car, meta keywords, just the phrases that perhaps describe what you're all about, what your site's all about, and then your description, it goes into a little bit more depth. So you've got the sailing boat that fits in your car. This ultralight catamaran comes in two sizes. The Minicat 420 is a 4-person catamaran, the 310 is a 2-person catamaran. That's it. Nothing more crazy than that, just something simple that again is relative. All of those three need to be relative to each other. So, then we've got language and date. Now, language, currently only one language, I'm afraid, English. So, you have to pick English. I'm sure they'll be adding new languages eventually. Your time zone, again, quite self-explanatory. You can have daylight savings time correction, which basically means it will automatically change the time on your store when the clocks go back or the clocks go forward. Always a useful thing to have ticked. And your display date and time format, which I would just, unless you're really complicated and need to change the day and the time, I just leave that as it is. So now your URL structure. Now these will all automatically be set to SEO optimized short. As you can see, I've changed this one, and I'll tell you why. Basically, you got your product URL settings. So your actual product URL, which is the address that appears in the bar, will be a long and complicated string of letters and numbers, and your product name will be in there, etc., etc. Now what BigCommerce will do is it can trim that down to make it easier for people to see and for search engines to read and again relate to what's in your actual content. So normally you would want the optimized short one because it's simple, concise, and says you don't want the word category. The word category has nothing to do with what you're doing. The word Apple iPod has something to do with the product. So I would go with the short one for everything, apart from on the product URL at the top, where I would personally select the third one down, the category one, as it includes the category. So it lets Google or any search engine know that it's an iPod Nano product and it's in the MP3 players category, again giving the search engine more information about what is on there rather than just the word category. Here you don't want that. Web page URL settings, again you don't need the word pages. Google doesn't need to know that About Us is a page. It knows it's a page. It just needs to know what its title is, what it is. So again, short one. And in the bottom, news, again, doesn't need to know all of the category that the news is in. It doesn't need to know it's news, just the name of it. So we go short again.